We're back. Except now we're 2 weeks out with these two, Moe and Rashaad. What, nobody's talking?
They're too tired to talk. Hey, 2 weeks out.
2 weeks out.
Yeah, they're men of few words. So, guys, congratulations on the last two videos we filmed. How many weeks were we, Mo, when we filmed? 10 weeks.
10 weeks. Yeah, I think so.
And now Rashaad was just about a month ago or so?
About 4 weeks.
About a month ago, yeah. So 3 weeks ago, yeah. And the video did so well on JTV that we decided to get you guys back on the channel by popular demand, but the both of them at the same time. So this is going to be cool because we're going to have these two guys who are doing both the California Pro, amateur, and pro.
Yes.
So Mo's pro debut, we're very excited about it. And so far we filmed shoulders with Mo last time, and we did back with Rashaad. So we asked them what they want to train today, and they said both chest. So
Chest.
So that'll be cool. And then they're like just 2 weeks out, so I can't wait to see what these guys look like. It's gonna be great. Are you guys excited?
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
Yep.
How's the prep been since over the past the past few weeks, guys?
Couple
Good.
weeks, last couple weeks, you know how you get low carbs and calories.
Yeah.
You gotta fight it. Delirious, tired, hungry, but I'm here. Show you what 2 weeks look like. 2 weeks out look like.
Mo, I can't wait to see you, man, because last time we saw you, you looked really good for 10 weeks out, but of course a little bit heavier, obviously. How's it been the last few weeks for
good,
you?
Just the prep, going through the fall, drop the carbs a little bit, increase the cardio, keeping an eye on everything, making sure we're keeping the water high, the sodium high.
Yeah.
Doing the basics and just doing the work.
Yep.
This is gonna be a good one. You excited?
Yeah, and of course, just I should mention that if these two guys are too tired to talk, that I'll talk for them because I never shut up.
You'll fit in the
I
blanks.
never shut up. So I'm really excited though. Both
I'm
of
not
these guys.
worried.
First of all, I love this gym. Second of all, both of these guys, when we filmed last time, both of them killed it.
Yeah,
so
it was
now
great.
having them together, double the energy. Can't wait.
It'll just be nice to see them in condition also, like in contest shape, because it's great when you do workout and but to see the muscle working and that's I can't wait. Yeah, so it's gonna be great. So thanks for being here, you guys. We appreciate it. Thanks for being on JTV, and then we'll talk some more at the end of the workout.
Of course.
All right, let's get in there.
Having us.
All right.
somewhere else.
Don't spill. Hey, I told you. I'll hold it.
Let me take this out.
Yeah. Yeah, the couch is uneven.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm good. That was close. That would have made a huge mess. Hey, do you have a code, by the way, on this?
Rashaad 11.
What is it?
Rashaad 11.
Rashaad 11. Okay, Rashaad 11. So if you guys go on jcutler.com and get your generate, put in a Rashaad 11 for a nice little discount there. There you go. Shameless plug. All right.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Roll. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. 3, 2, 1. Good. Right on top of the top. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And we stay in 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the first exercise that I had these guys do is a incline fly. We use a kind of a low incline, maybe about 30, 35 degrees or so. And what we're doing on this movement is we're going to emphasize the stretch. So I'm having them carefully come down to the bottom, and they're going to hold the bottom portion of the stretch for 4 full seconds, which I'm actually, you might not hear me, but I'm actually counting it out to them to make sure they're holding it for a full 4 seconds. Another key to this movement, which I spoke to them about before we even started, was I told them when they get down to the bottom of the movement to try to actively push their rib cage up higher will help to increase the stretch, because we really want to pull the pecs all the way from where the sternum starts all the way into the armpits in order to really, really get that full stretch to affect growth. So we're using controlled form. We're hitting somewhere probably around 8 to 10 reps. And again, that 4-second hold at the bottom, that stretch, is amazing for growth. Just don't go, if you use this at home, just don't go as heavy with normal flies because it's a lot more difficult.
1, up, yes. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1, up. Yeah, buddy, come on. Still in the game. 4, 3, 2, 1, up. There's a 3 now. I want to see 3 perfect. 4, 3, 2, 1. There's 1. Come on. First place. 4,
Yes.
3, 2, 1. 1 was the overall. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Up. Good. Can't get hurt when you're moving slow like this. You're good.
Yep.
The muscle. Come on.
Tap into my right. Yep.
Except Ronnie didn't do reps like this. No, he
Right.
he can do whatever he wants because
Right.
he's from another planet. That's okay.
Yep. Let's go.
Okay, so for the second movement, what we're going to do is a Smith incline press. I chose the Smith machine over the barbell because these guys are just 2 weeks out from their show, and I wanted them to be able to focus on the muscle more so than worrying about balance or stabilization. So that's why I chose the Smith machine. We're doing an incline press, as I said, and what we're going to be doing on this set is we're going to be doing a 4-second negative on each rep. So I'm actually counting down from 4 down to 1, and focusing on the eccentric or the negative portion of the rep, which is a great way to stimulate muscle growth because the eccentric portion of the rep is actually even more important than the concentric or the positive portion of the rep. So what we're doing was getting about 6 to 8 reps here, using maximum tension, and then after we are done, immediately we're stripping the weight pretty much almost in half. And what I want them to do is now use pretty much the first 2/3 of the movement from chest to about 2/3 of the way up because we want to keep constant tension. And I also change the rep speed. So we're not going to focus on the negative. We're now actually going to just pound out the reps as quickly as we can, just down and up. Again, forcing maximum amount of blood in the muscle, and also just changing how the nervous system has to deal with the presses. So we're going from those very slow negatives to all of a sudden forcing the fibers to have to deal with moving very, very quickly. It's a very, very intense way of doing a drop set. Give it a try if you guys want to grow big upper pecs.
Yep. 1 up. 1 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Press. Let's go. Let's go. Good. Yep. Move it. Move it. 4. 3 more. 1.
Come on.
Chest. 2. 1 more. All the way now. Up. That's it. Good.
Crazy.
Great shape.
You know what it is? You're a classic physique bodybuilder.
He is. Aesthetics.
He's like a
Aesthetics.
he's like a Flex Wheeler, Sean Roden.
Aesthetics. Look at the waist. Look at the waist muscle. Yep.
To me,
Slow down. Slow it down. Slow it down. Focus. There you go.
Show the camera.
I feel like that's fucking.
In the mirror, it's going to be like a hard to translate. 7, 3, 2,
Okay, so the way I finished this workout actually was with a superset. And what we're doing is starting with the seated fly machine. As far as form techniques go, I wanted them to have their elbows up high, which means, again, I'm looking to hit the portion of the chest, the upper chest, right under the clavicles. We can't isolate this portion of the chest, but we can focus on those upper chest fibers. So that's how we're starting off this movement. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the contracted portion of the rep. So I'm having them squeeze and hold the squeeze at the center for about 3 full seconds, which again, I'm counting for them. And also, I'm having them use a technique that I call hyper-contracting. So there's a difference between just regular contractions and hyper-contractions. A regular contraction, they would just be holding the weight in position. But with hyper-contraction, I'm actually having them actively squeeze the pec muscle as hard as they can. And in this case, they're actually pushing their knuckles together at the center as hard as they can to force that extra squeeze. So now with the second movement, the second portion of the superset, we're just going to have them lie down and do a flat dumbbell press. We're using very, very light weights here because the chest is already very, very exhausted from this pre-exhaustion. And what we're doing is just doing a basic flat dumbbell press, but I wanted to make sure, and again, I talked to them both before they did this, is that they're actually going to use a full range of motion. So I don't want those dumbbells to come down and actually touch the chest. I want them to come down to the sides of the chest to use a full range of motion. So they're going from that contracted position now to getting a full stretch at the bottom and then pressing again right to the top. We're looking for higher reps on this because we just want to look to force as much blood as we possible into the pecs. And again, they're only using 55-pound dumbbells, which is ridiculously light for them, but at this point in the workout, it feels awful heavily. So this is an amazing superset to activate growth, to force a lot of blood into the muscle, and whether you're trying to grow or getting ready for a show, give this a shot because it's just an amazing way to hit the pecs.
Yes, I do. 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna get it.
Fuck the amateurs. It's pro
I'm gonna
time.
get it.
3, 2, 1. No more amateurs. Come on. Squeeze.
No more.
3, 2, 1. Come on.
Pro court is here.
3, 2, 1. We got 3 reps in us now.
Yes, we do.
3, 2, 1. Come on. Muscle it to the top. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. One more. Kill the dumbbell press. 3, 2, 1. Yes.
Good one.
Big finish. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Last step, best set.
Exactly. Every rep is a set.
Everything. Everything.
2 weeks. Oh, you just got stronger. 6, 7. Come on, more. 8. Come on. Up. 2 more. 2 more. Up.
One more.
1 more. Come on, hit it. Up. Yes.
Yeah. Trash can down.
All right, you guys, 10 days out from the NPC/IFBB California Pro, which will be in Vegas, funnily enough. Every show we have to go to Vegas or Florida, so we can't actually go. But it doesn't matter as long as it's happening, right? So,
Yes, sir.
guys, talk to me a little bit about the session. I was glad to have you. We were glad to have you there both at the same time. The energy between you two is great. You can feel that. That's awesome. Tell me a little bit about the workout, Rashad. How was it compared to back last time?
Killer.
Yeah. Did you feel the last back workout? That's what I want to ask you, actually.
That's why I messaged him, told him like my back feel amazing. I felt my back for 3 days.
Really?
For 3 days straight.
What about you, Mo? How was the last? Do you remember the last shoulder workout?
Of course, I can't forget.
That was a while ago.
Delts, yeah, it was tremendous. It was shocked my body definitely because it was something I wasn't used to.
Yeah.
Definitely intense. Definitely felt it. Definitely had some growth in there.
How do you you were 10 weeks out back then, so you were really strong because the calories were higher and everything. How do you compare that? How do you compare the workout right now, just 2 weeks out? I know the energy, the strength is not as. I'm gonna wait for this one to go. I know the strength and the energy is not as high, but you guys push some weights. I was actually surprised how heavy you guys trained today, considering you're only 2 weeks out. But how was the pump? How was the feel of the workout, Mo, compared to the last one?
It was good. It was good. Of course, the strength isn't there, but just Eric pushing us through it, and just being here, part of your platform, just the adrenaline helping me get through it.
The whole team.
That always helps if you get filmed.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
Yes.
And just knowing the show's around the corner, getting these championship reps out the way.
Yes.
And just mustering up everything we got to bring in that condition. That's what we want.
Rashad, talk to me about the workout. How did you like it today? It's different.
I enjoyed the workout. I got an amazing pump on my chest.
Who could see it? Both of you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, the energy was great. I like training with Mo. Mo brought me to this community, like I said before.
Yeah, you guys are like brothers.
Yes, and with the push with E and Mo busting me through this workout with the low calories and no carbs right now. Surprised I got a pump actually.
Really?
So yeah, because when you deplete, it's hard to get a pump and keep going. So, but
both of you guys had a crazy pump. Mo, I asked you to take your shirt off because I said
it was different.
You had to take that shirt off. You took it off to pose with him. I said, you did your last exercise without the shirt on because we could really tell
the type of training that Eric displayed on us today. Definitely was a pump with the 4 count on the cadence going down.
Yes.
Slowed up, contracting the muscle and just not moving the weight. So it's a rhyme and reason behind everything. It definitely brought blood to the muscles.
Yes.
How do you think they did, considering they're only 2 weeks out from the show? I thought they did great.
Oh no, they were amazing. I mean, here's the thing: is that a lot of times I was asking them, and because I'm conscious of the fact that they're 2 weeks out, I would say, "Hey, do you want to stay with this weight?" And they were both just like, "Coach, whatever you say. You want me to push it? I'll go." So like even when you see us doing incline presses, we were going to stick with just the 225, and then the next set I said, he's like, "I want to go heavier," so we tried 275. I said, let's stay away from 315, but no, he won 315 on the last set.
I can't believe Rashad took the 2 1/4 on a 4 count negative. That's
Rashad
tough.
is,
he's strong, man.
And he still, he still has. So it was, it was really like, it was really mental for them. Like they wanted to push hard. Yes, because they were on film, but I think more so because they just are so hungry, and they just wanted to just challenge themselves. These are not the type of guys who are just like status quo. They want to challenge themselves. They want to challenge each other to push harder. So I was actually very, very surprised, but not so surprised because I know their mentality. But it was amazing to see them push that kind of weight with the techniques that I have going for them. 4-second negatives, or 4-second stretches, and that it's a whole nother world.
Yeah, I'm just asking because that's exactly the point. I mean, they've trained so far only once each with you. This is technically only the second workout, and it's Mo. I know it's very mentally draining, especially on a slow negative. When you're doing the incline and stuff, it's so easy to just lower the weight faster, and he made you really take that 4-second, and it's hard to do it, especially from the beginning, because we have tendency to just kind of lower it real quick and then kind of slow it down. You always have to think about it. It's really, really taxing on the mind, right?
That's what makes it more challenging.
Yeah.
And definitely mental toughness has to kick in, especially with that type of weight, especially with that type of technique, controlling the weight. exploding up, making sure that you're contracting each rep.
Yeah.
With that, definitely bringing on shape. You know, you're actually sculpting the muscle.
Yeah.
And not just pushing around weight. You know, which can cause injury. So, like Eric said, you know, with the control way down, you can't. You know, it's a very low risk of injuring yourself.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're 2 weeks out, so we don't want you guys to get hurt. That's not the time. You're right there. So
that was my that was my fear with it a little bit. But the truth of the matter is because we were doing everything so controlled that it's not going to go on the joint, it's not going to go on the tendons and the ligaments or the attachments. It's going to be forced. The muscles are going to be used.
Worst case scenario, you have to stop
That's it.
because you're failing.
True.
Right.
And that's it.
And that's exactly. He wouldn't be injuring something.
Yeah,
So. You know, and again, like if there's a difference between being 2 weeks out and even 1 week out, you know, because you know you have to, you know, sometimes when guys' water levels are so low, their joints get so frail.
Yeah.
You have to watch out, and even then, you don't want to push any kind of very, very heavy weight. But at 2 weeks out, I knew they still had it in them.
Yeah.
And it's more mental toughness than anything. I wasn't going to be able to stop these guys. These guys are just like they're in it, and right from the first set, right from the dumbbell flies we started with, they were in it. So.
I'm glad we filmed the 2 weeks out because sometimes a little closer to the show, you look a little better, but the energy, the output's not as good as today. Was a really good workout. I could feel it, and you
The
guys,
energy was there.
you guys did great.
And it's good chemistry with us training together.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, every time.
Yeah,
So I would always love
awesome.
Any muscle group to
Oh,
train.
guys, we want to wish you the best of luck. 2 weeks in Las Vegas for the California Pro.
Thank you.
And then we will be there. I'm supposed to go, so I would love to get an interview if you guys win.
absolutely. We're gonna win.
You know everybody's gonna be after you guys, but
Look forward to it.
yeah, it's awesome. E, I'm gonna let you say. First of all, before we close, if you guys have anybody you want to say thank you to, I know people have been helping you out up to this point, so feel free to say thank you.
I'd like to give a shout out to the whole NPC IFBB. Everybody who helped me along the way, from Chris Psycho, my first coach who got me into bodybuilding.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cormier, with the posing, and, you know, a couple shows. Eric as well, bringing these new variations of training to my attention and just helping me along the way. You know, you never stop learning, always room for growth.
That's right.
And you know, just sky is the limit. You know, just putting the work in.
Yeah, man.
And Jay Cutler TV as well. Jay himself, you know, for allowing us to be on your platform. So much love for everybody.
Awesome. What about you, Rashad?
Yes, I want to say thank you to the NPC and the IFBB for what they bring to us as athletes. I want to say thank you to Moe, because without Moe I wouldn't be here. He brought me into this community, and ever since I came into this community, I just been, you know, embraced by everybody with love and respect, and they want me a part of the community.
Yeah, man.
I want to say thank you for Jay for making me part of the team.
That's right.
You know, Coach Eric, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate all you guys and what we do here, and just want to keep the love and the blood in the sport.
That's awesome. Iggy, you get a closing arguments.
I promised I was going to say this about Moe. I wanted to say this. So he, you know, one thing that, you know, obviously Rashad, his physique is purely classic. It's stunning. It's made for the IFBB. There's no two ways about it. Moe, and we were just discussing this before, it was several years ago, maybe 3 years ago, that he competed at the Ferrigno.
Yeah, with me. He was doing the
Right.
yeah.
And I went to him. I didn't know
He should have won that, by the way.
I didn't know who he was. Yeah. With all respect to our good buddy Justin.
Yeah.
But I went back to him backstage. I didn't know who he was. I just went back to him, and I walked up to him just straight out and I said, "Listen, you have IFBB written all over you, dude. You have one of the best physiques I've ever seen in the amateurs. You're going to be a pro one day." And I walked, even though he didn't win the show, I was sure he was going to be. And so I'm not surprised to see him sitting here going to an IFBB show. But one of the things that I love about his physique, and I love to see, is that I said he is like a classic physique on a bodybuilder's frame, because the guy's, you know, 240 pounds and massive, but, you know, tiny little waist. He reminds me of a combination I told him of, and this made him, he was so happy. I said a Flex Wheeler, Sean Roden, and a little bit of Brian Buchanan. Remember Buchanan with that tiny little waist?
26-inch waist.
Very, very reminiscent of those three in a combination, and I love that stuff. I mean, all respect to the Mass Monsters. Everybody is incredible, but I love the classic physique, and he has it, and I think that he's going to be an amazing addition to the IFBB stage.
Yeah.
And you know, and do great at the show. But again, let me just say again, blessed to be able to train these guys, honored to be able to train these guys, and I hope to work with them more in the future, that's for sure.
Likewise, man.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Very cool. Guys, thanks for coming on a Sunday.
Thank
I know
you
you have
for having us.
families. I know you have things to do. And we're 2 weeks out, and I really appreciate it. And thanks for being on the channel, okay? All right.
Here we
Good
come,
luck in
Cal.
2 weeks. That's
Here we
right.
come. Thanks. Here we
First
come.
place.
That's right.
Yes, overall.
Okay, so I got this question on Ask Merlin Monday on my Facebook page, and I thought it was very much worth answering. I was asked, if I carb load before and after my workout, which is when I get all of my carbs, am I still able to put on size if I abstain from carbs for the rest of the day? So basically he's just asking, if I just have carbs before and after my workout and have no carbs the rest of the day, can I still grow from that? And the answer to that would be twofold. Yeah, I mean, of course you can still grow from that if you're having enough carbohydrates. But is that maximal? Is that optimal? I would say no. I would say that the one major key ingredient that you're missing is having carbs with the first meal of the day. Now, I should say, unless your first meal of the day is your pre-workout meal, then this wouldn't apply. But if you're working out later in the day and not having carbs first thing in the morning, that would be a mistake, because first thing in the morning, a couple of things going on. First of all, obviously you fasted all night. And so, glycogen levels will be down, blood sugar will be low. So you may not feel that wonderful if you abstain from carbs first thing in the morning. Second thing is that cortisol levels are going to be quite high first thing in the morning. And the best way to quell cortisol is by having some carbohydrates. Cortisol is a very destructive hormone when it comes to muscle growth. So you want to keep it low. So just by having carbohydrates in the morning, you will be able to knock the cortisol down and stay in a more of an anabolic state. So I would suggest that, if you want to keep carbs at a relatively low level, you want to build muscle, but you want to stay lean if that's the goal, then I would move the pre-workout carbohydrates, or at least a portion of them, to meal one, breakfast meal, so that you can lower the cortisol levels, raise your blood sugar up a little bit, function a little better during the day, and keep yourself in a more of an anabolic state. And then you can have your carbohydrates, either the rest of the carbohydrates post-workout, or again, at least some of the carbohydrates in the morning and pre-workout. I should just mention, this is something that I do myself. I actually only take in carbohydrates, a large amount of carbohydrates first thing in the morning, when the body is most physiologically set up to handle the carbs and push them towards muscle cells and away from fat cells. And I take the other half of my carbohydrates post-workout, when the body's basically in that same state. I do not do pre-workout carbs. I find that pre-workout carbs for me usually lead to sort of a blood sugar crash in the middle of the workout, so I prefer fats. So basically, like I said, my two carbohydrate meals are first thing in the morning and post-workout. The rest of the meals are protein and fat only. And I have been able to continue to grow like this while staying relatively lean for the last several years. So I think that's the best way to do it. If you're, again, one of those people who are just looking to gain lean tissue while keeping body fat down low, I think that would optimize your training and your diet a little bit better than just having them pre and post workout.